Hi, in this video, 5-card tarot for the sign of Libra. It's January 2020 as I'm doing this, quite early January, so I hope you had a great new year, and I hope, Libra, that 2020 brings you everything you dream of, everything you'd really love to happen. Let's see how we're set up for the year then, Libra, okay? Tarot in Wonderland is my deck of choice that I'm using here. Be very interested to know what your favourite deck is, actually, guys. Let me know in the comments below. It's always good to share the journey. Anyway, shuffling away, and what is the first card in this? Oh, well, here we are in this reading for the sign of Libra, January 2020, and it's the 10 of Pentacles. Now, this is a real nice card to get, although it does promise that there's a lot more action just about to happen, actually, really waiting in the wings, because Alice is asleep on this beautiful, comfortable chair here, and the ginger cat is asleep on the floor, so everything's kind of real sleepy feeling, real feeling of being at ease, and that's no bad thing, you know. Sometimes we think, oh, we should be jumping up and making sure that things happen and that we get everything done. This just shows that if you haven't got a great deal done this year yet, that's fine, because it's a time of batteries recharging and getting ready for the journey ahead. Because it's a Pentacles card, we're looking at earth sign energy, so it's earthy, it's grounded, and that's no bad thing when you're having a good sleep and a good rest. Taurus energy, Virgo energy, Capricorn energy, the earth signs basically, and I'm really drawn to the idea of Taurus here, because with Taurus energy you can either have a complete rest or get things done. It's entirely up to you, and sometimes the body takes over and you just need a good sleep. We have actually just had a massive penumbral lunar eclipse that came in last night as I'm doing this. I'm doing this on Saturday the 11th of January. It is really for the whole year ahead, actually, this reading, because it's the first Libra tarot spread I've done this year, but the year lies ahead of us and there are definitely going to be things to do, so if you need a complete rest, do have one. The alternative is wake up, jump up and get things done. It's up to you, you know. The tarot is all about your own life, and whatever, you know, I do these readings for so many people, but the most important thing is, what does this actually mean to you? So ask yourselves, Libra, what does this card say to you? Do you really need some more sleep? If so, great, go ahead and have it. If you feel, you know, there's a lot more to do, then maybe it's time to start waking up. Who knows? But Pentacles energy, it's everything coming together under the guidance of the divine, and we get lots of divine guidance when we're asleep. It comes through our dreams, and there's a link to our ancestors there, and we can see the portraits of Alice's ancestors up at the top of the card there. There's 3 of them, and it all looks incredibly balanced, incredibly positive. Now then, when we get that situation in our lives, everything's balanced and positive, we always know we're going to be pulled forward on the next leg of the journey pretty soon, because that's how these things always work, is it not? So let's see what the next leg of the journey is, really. That's the starting point. Where are we going next? And so I shall shuffle away. So where are we going next in this reading for the sign of Libra in January 2020? And we've got the 2 of Cups. Now then, this is great. This is a relationship card in lots of ways. And if you're looking for love, maybe this is it. I only say maybe because there's definitely a relationship indicated here. But, you know, there are all kinds of relationships. It's a beneficial one, I'll say that. But it could be just not with one person. It could, maybe it could be with a lover. Maybe it could be with one person at work. Maybe it's with a group of people. Maybe you're going to find like-minded people who'll support you on the next stage of your journey. This is the next leg of your journey starting, though, and it really is a positive one. You know, the 3 of Cups would be more positive again, but this is good enough. We've got the flying teapot there up in the sky, though, and so that suggests that as this energy comes in, Libra, it's going to be very easy to decide that, you know, no, I'm not going to go along with that. It's too crazy. It's too wacky. It's going to be something that seems really out there to you. Okay, so you might have to be prepared to kiss the frog, so to speak, and hopefully that frog will turn into a handsome prince, or at least will turn into a handsome next leg of the journey somehow. But there's support here, and there's a lot of feeling in this card as well. It's quite a passionate situation, and these 2 are knocking their cups together. We think of the cups energy, you know, it's all about longings, desires, where do we want to be, and so these cups are coming together, and it's going to actually result in action. It's going to actually get things done. There's stuff scattered all over the ground here. They look like, well, there's cards, playing cards, and all kinds of gaming chips and pieces. So there's a game to be played, and the interests of this game are still very scattered as we look at this card. Cups energy, so it's water signs, guys. It's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. They're the people to look out for. They're the signs to look out for as you forge ahead, because there's some kind of alliance being forged here, and it's good to forge that alliance if you're going to forge ahead and really get places. Okay, so we're waking up from the Ten of Pentacles there. But the Ten of Pentacles, you know, it's a real good sign, that, because, well, there's 10 of them, you know, for one thing. So it shows that we've reached some stage of completion before we take off on the next step of the journey. And it's so important to actually tie up the loose ends of what's gone before we actually move forward. But it's all looking good here, because we're straight onto the Two of Cups there. And now then, the next card is going to be card 3 of 5. So, in so many ways, the next card is going to be the heart of the matter. The heart of what this reading is all about for Libra in January 2020. So, what have we got? We've got the Emperor. It's number 4. It's major arcana energy here, and Aries energy, guys, okay? Aries is the sign associated with this card in quite a big way, but 4 is great. You know, the angels come in with that number as well, so lots of positive possibilities here. What's the Emperor all about then? Well, it has a lot to do with resources and using resources wisely. We know that everything has a season. That really is the energy of the Empress card that comes before that. So there are going to be times when good things come in, and times when we push ahead and everything works out, and other times when maybe things don't go galloping forward, but the energy is still there, and we've got to remember that. So the Emperor energy is telling us to be careful with the resources we've got. We've got a great boost coming in with the Two of Cups just before this. We've got a great tying up of loose ends and a great build-up of energy with that lovely long sleep in the Ten of Pentacles card. But although this doesn't say there's going to be any trouble ahead or anything like that, this just says that, you know, you have to go through thick and thin with things to really get success out of anything. Whether that's a relationship with a person or just, you know, getting through everyday life, having enough to eat, that kind of thing. And goodness knows that's an issue for so many people in the world these days. So make the most of what you've got, really, is the Emperor's message. That's the strongest thing about him. And it's Aries energy as well. So he's quite a stern character, quite a strict character. And you are going to have to be fairly strict with yourselves, Libra. Not too strict, you know, goodness me, got to have fun with things, and, you know, there's kind of crazy things going on in this card. Being, you know, from the Alice in Wonderland stories, there are bound to be, I suppose. But look at the little bird on the, what's it, a magpie there, with a shawl on, and another creature there with a thing wrapped round its head. I can't see too much in this card, to be honest, in terms of exactly what we're looking at. But they're actually both birds, aren't they? Now I look at it close up, and there are birds everywhere. So if you really want to be able to spread your wings and fly, Libra, make the most of any resources that you've got, and be aware as things come in. They're going to keep coming in as the year goes along. Life is like that, and life is looking pretty good in this spread at the moment. So 2020 looks a very positive year. Lots of changes actually in astrology and in any kind of spiritual direction at all. And that is grounded in reality, because any space scientist or astronomer will tell you that at the moment the solar system is moving into a new part of the universe where it's much less protected, and we are much less protected than we were before, because we were in a sort of very strong magnetic field before, just about all our lives, certainly for the last couple of generations anyway. The solar system has been in this sort of massive magnetism that has protected us, but it's moving on into a new part of space where it's open. The great news about that is that it allows us much more to be ourselves and to be in ourselves and to actually manifest what we really want. But it is kind of stark, and we've got to remember, just hang on to those resources and make the most of it. And then we can spread our wings and fly. There's only one bird flying in this. It's this one here. But it's very golden, it's very small, and small things have a higher vibrational energy. So think about those upper chakras, yeah? Get those involved. Get your meditating head on, get your manifesting head on. The two things go together. Okay, so that is the Emperor. That's the heart of the matter, okay? So we really got, like, resources are coming up in a big way in this reading so far, actually. Even in the Ten of Pentacles, you know, that long rest is a resource in a way because it keeps you more kind of, it keeps your energy in balance and it gives you more energy to go forward with. So do take that rest if you haven't taken it already, Libra. But don't be resting for too long because it's all happening. It's all moving forward. So what I am asking now is card number 5 in this spread for the sign of Libra in January 2020. And it is the Knight of Pentacles. Wow, so we've got Pentacles energy again, Earth sign energy again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm seeing a lot of Capricorn in this card actually, but it is all the energies coming together because it's a Pentacle card and it does show that the angels, the divine, the spirit realms, the whole outer universe is actually in tune with us, and that's really good since we're really out there in a new part of the universe, is it not? Now this knight, he doesn't look very patient at all to me, but the Knight of Pentacles is one of the more patient characters in the tarot actually. He understands that things are going to take time, and that's why the horse isn't galloping madly away. But excuse me a minute, oh, itchy eyes. Yeah, he knows that resources and everything like that do need to build up before people can get anywhere. And it's actually not just the resources, it's the thoughts as well. We haven't had any sword cards yet, but thoughts are really important. Because that is what allows us to make the most of our resources more than anything. So do think about it, guys. Do contemplate a bit and do take your time. He's ready to go, is the Knight of Pentacles. So I dare say you're really ready to go too, Libra. And by the time we get to this stage of the journey that we're seeing in this reading here, you really will be. But just take time to make sure you're all packed up. See, he's got all his belongings strapped on carefully. He's even got a pan on his head to make sure he kind of can cook stuff as he goes. Is that a pan? Not sure if it's a pan or a teapot or what, but it's some sort of cooking vessel. Oh, excuse me, some kind of cooking vessel. It most certainly is. And nature is abundant all around him here as well. So maybe we're looking at getting into the spring a little bit more, because up in the northern hemisphere, at least at the moment, it's kind of hopeless. You know, sometimes astrology says this is a good day for planting seeds. And maybe we can plant metaphorical seeds of a new beginning at this time, but we're some way away from spring. We're some way away from everything coming out into blossom. But there we go. So there's two cards telling us about resources there. The Emperor is telling us to be careful we don't kind of just blow all our resources. And the Knight of Pentacles is willing to wait until everything comes together. And that is so important on this journey. It really is. Because this is looking a good one. You know, we've had the Two of Cups early on, and that shows that things are really positive and are really, there's going to be alliances. So it's not just something you've got to do by yourself, Libra. There's going to be support with this. And so great forward motion is going to be possible when it comes. So then, what is going to be card number 5? What, in fact, my friends, is going to be the outcome card of this 5-card tarot spread for the sign of Libra in January 2020? Okay, let's see. It's the Queen of Swords. Here she is. Now, she looks rather a forbidding character, doesn't she? But she's actually very clever. There's a lot of thinking going on, of course, because of the swords. And as an outcome card, that must seem a little crazy as an outcome card, because it's just kind of a stop and think card as much as anything else. But it does really portend positive things, Libra, because it actually means you're going to have something to think about. And when we look at the first card of the spread, the Ten of Pentacles, any thinking going on there is being done with the angels' help, because Alice is actually sound asleep here and energy is building up. This is more about, there's loads of energy here, what are we going to do with it? Now, the Queen of Swords is a very shrewd character, very intelligent character. She likes rules and she likes regulations, so you may have to calm the energy down a bit when you get to this point, Libra. And different strokes for different folks. You know, these readings are for so many different people. You've got to decide how you feel about this. You might come out in this situation sometime tomorrow. You might be in it already, or it might sort of take the rest of the year to happen, because this is kind of a general reading as we go ahead for 2020. It's where the energy of the year is taking us. But it's definitely a stop and think thing. We've seen some of that with the Knight of Pentacles, there. But with the Queen of Swords, which is air sign energy, by the way, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius around you or within you. Look at where Gemini, Libra and Aquarius are in your charts, Libra. Well, Libra is your sun sign, obviously. So it's important. It is actually very close to you and very close to your own heart in this situation. But as stern a character as she is, she heralds a lot of love coming in. It's just about making the most of it. This reading really has been all about making the most of what's coming in and what's actually going to be happening as you go forward. Okay, so we shall recap that one again. We started with the Ten of Pentacles, lots of energy build up here, and again, because it's Taurus energy with the Pentacles, you could, well, it's Earth sign energy. It's about being grounded, most certainly, but I was strongly drawn to the idea of Taurus, and I still am around this card. So a complete rest or getting things done, it's up to you, but do bear in mind, Libra, you're not going to get things done unless you've had plenty of rest, goodness me. I'm always talking about how important dreams are and how dream life figures in everything when I do these readings. And we've just had that fantastic full moon the other night. But although I usually dream a lot around full moons, I did not have, well, I'm sure we dream every night, but I could not remember one single dream or about anything, not a glimmer of a dream when I woke up. Because the night before, the storm had been blowing, nature had been going wild, the elementals had been having fun all around my house, and I just hadn't slept all night the night before. So when the full moon energy was here, I was sound asleep, miles away, and I don't remember any of the dreams, so you can never be actually sure how much that's going to work. But I then got a really good night's sleep, and I'm sure that's prepared me to go forward. Okay, so work or rest, it depends on you, it depends on the circumstances you're in, where you want to go. The Two of Cups, if you ask me, Libra, is the best news in this whole card, actually, because this is really what you're getting. This is really what's coming in next, if it's not there already. Maybe you know of something like this that's beginning to build up already, particularly if it's a group that you're getting closer to, a group that's going to help you. Just don't reject the flying teapot, because that is the source of where all the goodness is coming from. It could be a bit pie in the sky. It certainly is a bit teapot in the sky, but it's resources and it's coming in. It looks really positive, really quite powerful in that sense. And all the other cards add to the power of where the Two of Cups can take you in this reading. Okay, we then had the Emperor, and this is the heart of the matter. This is making the best use of things, and it's about realising that all those birds that are on the ground could actually be flying one way or another. You know, they say some birds are flightless. I keep chickens, and everyone says, oh, chickens can't fly. They really can. They can fly about 3 feet in the air. Some of them can fly 5-6 feet in the air. Not very high at all, really, but it's enough to get them out of trouble if there's a fox chasing them or a wolf's after them or something like that. So just enough energy to take off and keep yourself in order will be enough. But don't forget, guys, that spiritually we can all fly, and if we make the best use of the resources that come into us, and we actually maybe even hoard things up a little bit so we've got something put aside for the future, then things are going to be positive. They really are. They're looking very positive anyway, but just hanging on to the resources you've got and making the most of those resources is what the Emperor is all about, and that's really what's going to give you the wings. Then we came to Knight of Pentacles, and he is waiting patiently, so don't rush to get things done, okay? The Two of Pentacles comes in very early in this reading, so there is going to be help there, but don't be in too much of a hurry to kind of rush forward and force things to start happening, because they will happen in their own good time. This horse is going nowhere, but it's certainly a horse, and it certainly can go places, and when the time comes, it's great, because the Knight has everything strapped on there, everything ready to go, full of nature signs, full of positivity. And then that final outcome card of the reading, the Queen of Swords. Just think carefully, have a plan, you know, and it's also important that that plan sort of fits into the general rules of life. Libra, this isn't a thing where you've got to kind of throw the whole rule book out. This is where, like everyone and like any kind of successful scenario, it has to fit in with the way the world is, because we live in this world as cosmic and as spiritual as we may be. And I know many of my viewers are very cosmic, very spiritual people, but we all have to make it work in this world, do we not, friends? That's the most important thing, because this is where we live and this is where life takes place. This is where the journey happens. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there. I will be along later in January with another reading. I'm discovering it's best to upload one a day, otherwise the YouTube algorithm doesn't show it to hardly anybody, or it'll just pick one reading out and show that one. It doesn't seem to get that there are 12 signs of the zodiac and 7 days in a week. So tomorrow, going to take a look at the astrology of the week ahead, and then we'll get into Scorpio on Monday. And by the middle, really just over the middle of January, we'll have had all 12 signs done for the kicking off reading that brings the year to really, well, it doesn't bring the year to anything, does it? But it gets the year moving. That's what these readings are all about. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you have subscribed, thank you very much, guys, because it really makes a big difference to me, and it really makes a difference to the channel in terms of being able to get the word out. So thanks if you have. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and tap the bell to receive all notifications. That's the way to go. Big thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it, and a big thumbs up from me to you for watching this one and getting right the way through to the end. I really appreciate you watching, guys. I really do. Leave me a comment. We'll share the journey. Share me around social media. That's what I'm here for. Have a fantastic January. I will be back very soon with more readings. Peace.